We just got a new sneak peek at New York Comic Con which revealed the theme of the next episode, and it's gonna be beach themed. We were actually wrong about episode 7 not having an adventure, and now it seems like we are finally gonna see the grounds and the digital lake, so it's really exciting. But let me play the whole thing for you guys right now so you can see what I'm talking about. And the credit goes to Subcooler on YouTube for getting the footage.
What a good day! Wow!
Alright, so who wants to try Kane's magical changing move first?
I guess I'll give it a go.
Wow! You look mediocre! If you ever need a sunburn, give me a call!
I don't want a sunburn.
Should have thought of that before I decided I hate you!
Don't interact with the sun. She's just like that.
Gangle, wait.
So first off, the episode is literally called A Day at the Beach, which is crazy when you think about all the warnings we've been getting from Gooseworks and Michael Kovac about how episode 7 is gonna tear the fanbase apart and make people angry. Like, we've been preparing ourselves for this emotional, devastating experience, and instead we're getting what looks like a beach episode, which is honestly the last thing anyone expected. But here's where things get interesting, because I don't think this is actually what it seems. Like, yeah, we're seeing the characters at the beach, they are in swimsuits, and the whole vibe seems pretty light-hearted at first, but I think this is exactly the kind of misdirection that Gooseworks would do, because if you remember, she literally said that nobody accurately predicted how episode 6 was gonna play out, and I'm pretty sure she's doing the same thing here. Because when you actually look at the sneak peek more carefully, there are some really interesting details that suggest this beach adventure is probably not gonna be the main focus of the episode at all. Like, we see Pomni, Ragatha, Kinger, Gangle, and Zubul all participating in this beach adventure, but at first glance it looks like Jax is completely missing from the group scenes. But actually, if you look really closely in the background, you can see what appears to be Jax sitting by himself in the shade, completely isolated from everyone else. Now the thing is, this makes perfect sense when you think about where we left off with Jax at the end of episode 6. He had that complete breakdown at the awards show. He told Pomni he doesn't care about anyone and that they were never friends, and he's basically pushed everyone away as hard as he possibly could. So of course he's not gonna be participating in the fun beach activities with everyone else, because he's actively trying to isolate himself and keep everyone at distance. But what's really interesting about this is that based on everything we know about episode 7, the beach adventure is probably gonna take up like maybe 10 to 15% of the actual episode. Because if you remember the sneak peek Gooseworks shared and then quickly deleted about Jax, it doesn't look like this is on the beach, more like in his room, or maybe one of the abstracted characters' rooms, and this image suggests that the most intense moments of episode 7 are actually gonna take place inside the tent, not during whatever adventure Kane has planned. So maybe what will happen is that episode 7 is gonna either start out with showing the aftermath of episode 6, where Jax lies in his room and he looks absolutely devastated, and then maybe later Kane starts preparing them for the next adventure, which I'm pretty sure Jax wouldn't wanna go, but it looks like he's gonna be either forced or maybe he'll actually want to take his mind off of things, so he goes anyway. But we know that episode 7 was originally supposed to be combined with episode 8 as one massive episode, but Gooseworks had to split it because it was getting too long. And when you think about that in the context of this beach episode reveal, it starts to make sense why the episode needed to be split, because maybe the beach adventure is like the calm before the storm, and then towards the end something absolutely catastrophic happens that shifts the entire tone of the episode. Like, maybe the first half really is just a relatively light-hearted beach adventure where the characters are actually having fun for once, especially with Jax being in the background, but then the second half is where everything goes completely wrong. And maybe that's why Gooseworks and Michael Kovac have been warning fans that this episode is gonna make people angry, because we're gonna get lulled into this false sense of security with the beach stuff, and then the episode's gonna hit us with something absolutely devastating. And actually there's another detail in the sneak peek that I think is really important important. Because we hear the Sun character again. She literally tells Pomni not to interact with her and that she hates her, which is honestly pretty funny, but also kind of concerning when you think about it. Because if the Sun is gonna be a major part of this episode, then maybe something's gonna go wrong with the adventure that involves her, and that could be the thing that triggers the shift from light-hearted beach fun to complete psychological horror. But what really stands out to me is Gangle in this sneak peek, because she looks genuinely happy and she's not wearing her comedy mask, which is huge character development for her. Like we've seen throughout the series that Gangle has this whole thing where she hides behind her comedy mask and pretends to be happy even when she is not. But in this sneak peek she seems like she's actually enjoying herself without needing that mask. And honestly, this makes me think that maybe the reason everyone seems so happy in the beach scenes is specifically because Jax is not really participating. Like they seem like they can finally just relax and have fun without him constantly tormenting them or making everything about his nihilistic worldview. However, there's also this teaser photo we saw after episode 6, the one where Pomni and Jax look happy together, and it's sitting in a trash can. And that image was clearly telling us that whatever friendship or connection Pomni thought they had is now completely destroyed, and Pomni probably threw that photo away herself after Jax told her they were never friends. And I think that's gonna be a major part of episode 7, because even though Pomni is probably hurt and disappointed by what Jax said to her, she's not the type of person who's just gonna give up on him completely. Like we've seen throughout the series that Pomni is incredibly empathetic and she genuinely cares about the other characters even when they push her away. So I think episode 7 is probably gonna involve Pomni trying to reach out to Jax again and figure out why he's acting this way. And maybe that's gonna be the thing that finally breaks through his defenses. Or maybe it's gonna make things even worse, because if Jax is so convinced that getting close to people is dangerous, then any attempt to help him might just push him further over the edge. Now the thing is, we also know that one of the next episodes is gonna feature Ribbit as an actual character, and it's maybe going to be episode 7. And honestly, I have no idea how that's gonna fit into a beach episode unless the beach adventure is really just the surface level stuff, and the actual important content is gonna be some kind of flashback or revelation about what happened between Jax and Ribbit. Because we know that Jax said that both Ribbit and Kaufmo became insufferable right before they abstracted, and there's been this theory going around that maybe Ribbit wasn't actually Jax's friend who he lost, but someone who hurt him in some way, and that's why he's so messed up now. And if that theory has any truth to it, then maybe episode 7 is where we finally learn what really happened, and maybe that's why the episode had to be split into 2 parts. Because revealing something that significant about Jax's past would require a lot of time to properly explore, and you can't just throw that into a beach episode without it feeling rushed or out of place. But honestly, I think the beach adventure is basically a bait and switch. Like Gooseworks probably knows that fans have been expecting this super dark and emotionally devastating episode based on all the warnings they've been getting. So she's starting off with something that looks lighthearted and fun to throw us off guard. But then halfway through the episode, something's gonna happen that completely shifts the tone, and we're gonna get hit with all the heavy emotional content that we've been warned about. Maybe someone's gonna abstract, or maybe we're gonna see Jax have his complete breakdown, or maybe we're finally gonna learn the truth about what happened with Ribbit. And actually there's also a glitch direct happening later tonight, where we're finally gonna learn even more about episode 7, because there was a frame from this sneak peek in the thumbnail for that event, so maybe we'll get an official trailer or some additional information that will give us a better sense of what this episode is actually gonna be about. But based on everything we know so far, I think it's pretty clear that this beach adventure is just the beginning, and the real story is gonna happen somewhere else entirely. Because when you think about it, this show has never been about the adventures themselves. The adventures are always just the backdrop for the character development and the emotional drama, and I think episode 7 is gonna take that to the next level. Like maybe while everyone's having fun at the beach, Jax is back at the circus confronting whatever demons he's been running from this entire time, and that's where the episode is really gonna earn all those warnings about dividing the fanbase and making people angry. And honestly, I'm terrified and excited at the same time, because we've been building up to this moment for so long, and it feels like episode 7 is finally gonna give us some major major answers about Jax's character and what's really going on with him. But I also think it's gonna be really hard to watch, because based on everything we've seen, Jax is not in a good place right now, and whatever happens in this episode is probably gonna make things even worse for him before they get better. But let me know what you think about all these updates and theories down in the comments. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.